and your Oñate Knights. Tonight's officials, referee Ed Helsfeld, umpire Carlos Herrera, linesman Richard Lewis, line judge Luis Hernandez, and back judge Kevin Westcott.
The excitement of high school football on the Bulldogs Trojan Oñate Radio Network. High school football is brought to you in part by La Posta, Beasley Mitchell and Company, Vista College, McDonald's, Sports Accessories, Wells Fargo, It's Burger Time Golf Tournament, Bernal Insurance, Anytime Fitness, Citizens Bank of Las Cruces, Bogart, Red Wing Shoe, and Western Heritage Bank. For all the play-by-play, let's head out to the stadium with Jeff Matthews.
Well, hi again, everyone. Good to be with you this evening at the Field of Dreams. Things are clearing up as the rainy thunderstorms have exited the Field of Dreams area, and we've got the lid lifter tonight. It's the Oñate Knights taking on the Centennial Hawks in a city rivalry game. I'm Jeff Matthews, joined by Mark Hartshorn tonight. We'll have Greg Berry with us throughout the season, and Brad Beasley as well, but Mark and I are flying without a net here this evening. This will be a good ball game. Last year, Centennial really whooped up on Oñate, Mark, but that was game one of Brent Jaquiz's program. I expect them to be a lot further along this year.
Oh, definitely, and I think even last year from week 1 to week 2, Oñate was much, much better in week 2. So already a rivalry game between these two schools, and beautiful evening and a great ball game coming.
This is the Sports Accessories countdown to kick off other action tonight. The Trojans and Hobbs are going to try to play over at Hobbs tonight, but the field, frankly, is nearly flooded from the rainstorms on the east side. I got pictures from Daniel Dominguez with the ball club over there, and there's puddles everywhere on that sport turf surface at Watson Stadium in Hobbs. So I don't know how they're going to get that one underway. They need the thunderstorms to clear and then maybe squeegee the field, and luckily it's a good surface to play on if they can get the puddles off of it. And the Bulldogs played at 4 p.m. this afternoon against Montwood, part of a doubleheader at the SAC in El Paso, and they were in a lightning delay at last report, but the Bulldogs, last time I heard, were down 13-7 to Montwood. That score's pretty old right now, and I'm not sure where the lightning delay is. We'll pick up the Bulldogs and the Trojans further down the line. Tonight it's Oñate and Centennial in a city rivalry game in opening week. Both these teams were playoff teams a year ago. We're going to take a break on the Sports Accessories countdown to kick off. If you're headed to the stadium, we're 12 minutes and 45 seconds away from the opening kickoff. You're listening to Night and Hawk Football on AM 570, The Ticket.
You know how to tell if a man is serious about the work he does with his hands.
Ernesto said that Oñate won the coin toss.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen,
how does
please
he do
welcome your Centennial High School marching band.
Ernesto's telling me who won the coin toss.
The Centennial High School marching band is under the direction of Joseph Flores and Sarah Candelaria. Program coordinator is Ping Dawson, and drill writer is Jack Percival. Guard instructors are Katie Tomasek and Casey Tarango. Percussion instructors, April Lara, Angie Armagnac, and Mark Vigil. Other staff includes Josh Graves, Stephen Bova, Dwight Getz, Nate Wood, and Patrick Mulkern. This year's competition show is entitled Paradigm, featuring music of Gabriel Yared and Don Barrett. Tonight's show consists of 2 movements. The first movement is titled Patterns and features soloist Leah Romero on flute, Danny Robles on mellophone, and Kira Cunoff on oboe. The second movement is titled Shift and features Tommy Yoder on flugelhorn and Leah Romero on flute. drum majors, Sarah Deisinger, Brianna Gilligan, and Elena
Please
Holguin.
count down to
Is your
kickoff,
band
and
ready?
we are 10 minutes and 22 seconds away from kicking off the season opener here at the Field of Dreams. Well, we know about the years they had a year
Centennial
ago.
High School
Oñate
marching
went to the
band.
playoffs,
You may take
won
the field
a
for
first-round game, and then
performance.
lost in the quarterfinals to La Cueva, who Mayfield beat the following week in a close game. Meanwhile, Centennial went to the semifinals before succumbing to Belen. They had some injury problems during their playoff run, so they're going to have to retool. Dante Lopez, the junior, takes over at quarterback for Sedano, but we'll remember Lopez started that semifinal game against Belen, so he should be pretty seasoned.
I think Centennial brings back 6 starters, I believe, on offense and 7 on defense, so they do have some veterans out there. Oñate graduated nearly 30 seniors, so they do have some holes to fill, but it looks like they have some quality players coming.
Yeah, Oñate at quarterback, Tony Herrera taking over for Fabian Reyes, who did a nice job. And we'll see what he brings to the table, but Brent Jaquiz's offense wasn't ready to go opening week last year. Neither was their defense, frankly. They left receivers wide open, and really it was a pretty easy win for Centennial. Talk about Herrera taking over.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again for the Centennial High School Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's inaugural kickoff game between the Centennial Hawks and your Oñate Knights. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats for the presentation of colors and the playing of the national anthem by the Oñate High School Marching Band.
Let's get the game on.
Time for the Oñate Knights to pop out. The Knights are the home team tonight. Knights decked out in their black home jerseys, black pants, silver numerals, black helmets. The Hawks are wearing the road whites here this evening. Red pants and red numerals with red helmets. So the Hawks are on the eastern side of the stadium, and the Oñate Knights are on the western side of the stadium. Mayfield and Hobbs, we understand, delayed because of the weather over in Hobbs. That field's a mess. It's a good thing it's a sport turf surface, but a mess is a mess.
That may slow down Hobbs that wants to throw the ball 50 times a game, too. They may have a little more difficult time doing it in that swamp over there.
Yeah, I know they're your favorite team in New Mexico.
My favorite.
You love
yeah.
that approach.
Uh-huh.
Knights won the toss. We'll see whether they want the ball first, as both teams huddled up around their special teams coaches, and we are close to getting this game underway as this concludes the Sports Accessories countdown to kickoff. I want to tell you about Chala's Woodfire Grill in Mesilla, a tasty spot to dine. Chef Frankie Torres has whipped up items like the A Mountain Burger, which for me was outstanding, a bacon green chili cheeseburger on a homemade bun. Outstanding. They also have Mexican food burritos, chalacas, and a gordita or a tostada compuesta. Encourage you to stop by Chala's Woodfire Grill at 2790 Avenida de Mesilla and check them out. Open 11 to 8. Saturdays open 11 to 4 p.m. The Knights are going to kick to the Hawks, so the Hawks elected, well, actually the Knights won the toss, so they've elected to take their choice and defer it. So the Hawks are going to go from the south to the north as Junior Pena stands back at the 1 yard line for Centennial on the eastern hash. And over here on the western hash is Brandon Gomez. He stands at the goal line as well. For Oñate, Zach Weisenberger, the kicker, he has it teed up. And we are ready to get this game underway. Weisenberger approaches the football. Here's his kick. Side angle kick on the soccer style kick. Pena grabs it at the 10 to the far sideline to the 20, across the 30 and out near the 35 yard line. So that's where the Hawks will set up shop. And the 2015 season is underway. They're going to start around their own 35 with 11:53 to play in the opening quarter. Centennial's offense, center is George Nino, 309-pound senior. The guards are Berkeley and Garcia, 276 and 218 respectively. The tackles are Glines and Rubino, 189 and 288 respectively. Jerry Garola will play some for the Hawks as well at tackle. 1st and 10 for the Hawks at their own 35.5 yard line. Good snap to Lopez, and he hands off, fakes a pass after handing off, and the Knights all over it defensively. Stuffed the run for a gain of about a yard or two out to about the 37 yard line. Keith Hasso on the carry will be their feature back this year. Also we'll see sophomore Joaquin Gutierrez in the backfield for the Hawks some this year. Wide receivers Junior Pena, Jerry Gallegos, and Bryce Rewalt. The tight end, a good one, Chase Austin, and we'll see Zeke Herrera there as well. 2nd down and 8. The ball at the 37 yard line is Centennial. Lopez fields a snap, fakes a handoff, swings a pass out left side, too tall for Rewalt, and incomplete at the 36 yard line as he tried to hit him in the flat. And it's 3rd down and 8 for Centennial. The ball at their own 37 yard line. For the Knights defensively, Duarte and Martin are the defensive ends. Brent Jaquist said they don't really have starting defensive tackles. He says he has a lot of itty-bitty guys that he's going to rotate in there, but Garibay and Viescas and Teuton names you'll hear in there. The linebackers, Marshall, Young, and McKee. And the secondary we'll get to after this play if we need to. 3rd down and 8. Man in motion, hand the ball, coming left to Pena. Pena breaks a tackle at the 40 to the 45. He has a 1st down at the 50, across the 45, across the 40, and run out of bounds at the Oñate 36 yard line. Little flanker sweep, and that worked for big yardage. It's a gain of 27 yards for Pena.
And in the first 3 plays, Jeff, we've seen a zone read the bubble screen that was incomplete, and then that jet sweep across the sideline. Very, very common spread offense plays.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Hawks. The ball's at the Oñate 36-yard line. Out of the shotgun. Good snap to Lopez. Hands off to Hasso going right. He gets to the 35-yard line. Contact at the 34. Goes down at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 3 for Hasso. And it's 2nd down and 7. Gain of 3. Kind of a push, huh? Offense not too terrible a spot, but the defense stopped it pretty well. 2nd and about 7. Second and 7. The ball is at the Oñate 33-yard line. Twins to the left for the Hawks. And Lopez will hand it off, and the Knights get some penetration. Good move by the running back to squirt away, though, across the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. That was Gutierrez, the sophomore, on the carry, and it looked like they had that play stop being Oñate, and Gutierrez got away, and now it's 3rd down and 2.
And there is a battle going on the line of scrimmage, Jeff, between the Centennial offensive line and the defenders from Oñate.
3rd down and 2. The ball at the Oñate 28-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Lopez sends a flanker in motion into the backfield, fakes a handoff to Pena. He's going to keep. Lopez dances around, and he gets the 1st down. He makes it to the Oñate 25-yard line for a gain of 3. That didn't look all that promising initially, but he made a guy miss, and that should move the sticks for the Centennial Hawks, their 2nd first down of the series. Both times their first downs have come on 3rd down.
With the misdirection play there, Jeff, faking the ball to the left-hand side. It's that play we've seen out of Cruces High for a decade, I think, with 2 linemen pulling from the backside and attacking the other side of the formation.
9:36 to play in the opening quarter. 0-0 the score. 1st and 10 for the Hawks at the Oñate 25-yard line. 3 wide receivers for Centennial. Pena goes in motion, takes a handoff, sweep to the left side, the wide side, gets to the hash, cuts it upfield across the 20 down to the 18, but a flag flies at the end of the play. It would be a gain of 7. We'll wait on the flag, though, as it came at the end of the run.
And Junior Pena is going to cause a lot of people a lot of problems with that fly sweep or jet sweep, Jeff, with the ball being handed off underneath. Had a lot of room outside there. Hard to say what this penalty is right now.
Face mask against the Knights, as they've already given the indication. It's the 5-yard variety, but it'll give the Hawks a 1st down.
Hands in the face, it's a 5-yard penalty.
So face mask against the Oñate Knights, and the Hawks are set up 1st and 10 at the Oñate 13-yard line. This will be the 8th play of this Centennial drive. Lopez out of the shotgun with a wide receiver to each side. Rewalt goes in motion left to right. Fake a handoff to Rewalt. Handoff to Gutierrez straight up the gut. He's across the 10 and banged down at the 8. It's a gain of 5 on his 2nd carry of the ball game. And it's 2nd and 5 for Centennial at the Oñate 8-yard line with just under 9 minutes to play in the opening quarter.
With the fake jet sweep and the handoff back to the fullback up the middle, we're seeing a lot of different stuff from Centennial in one single drive.
2nd down and 5 for the Hawks. The ball at the Oñate 8-yard line. Lopez out of the gun. Hasso. Now it's Gutierrez to his left. He'll hand it to Gutierrez. Hit at the 7. Breaks free. Muscles across the 5. Muscles his way to the 2. Keeps fighting. He's into the end zone. Touchdown Centennial. He broke 3 tackles on the way, an 8-yard TD run, and the Hawks are on the board first.
And this is where you see the experience of Centennial, Jeff. They've been running this offense, these players have, these linemen have for 4 years now. A lot of different formations, no tight ends, 2 tight ends, 1 tight end, different sets, misdirection. An impressive opening drive by the Centennial Hawks.
8:29 to play in the opening quarter, 6-0 Hawks. Pending the point after touchdown attempt by Bryce Rewalt. As the ball's plopped at the 3 for the PAT attempt. Rewalt's a righty. Snap down. The kick, he got underneath it. It's a high hanging kick, but it dropped through there. He hit it fat.
Didn't look very pretty, but he did get it through there.
So on the scoreboard, it's 7-0. Centennial with the lead, 8:29 to play in the first quarter. You're listening to Hawk Night Football on AM 570, The Ticket.
Let's face it, your motorhome is your home on the road.
So you need to give me
whether
some
you're
why.
cross country to visit your loved ones or just checking another state off.
Why did it work? Why didn't it work?
Get all of your maintenance done at one time at one place.
If you get
Bogart
stuck,
Service.
why?
They'll be happy to change the oil.
It's not a
fix the toilet,
criticism.
and
It's
anything
just,
else
it just
get back
gets
on the road.
you, and you're kind of
Any
like,
make, any
what do I
model.
say?
Why don't you bring the car in too? Bogart Service.
If it's a
Center
pass
is
play
your
and work,
auto,
you can go with, why did it work? Why didn't you cover better?
At 2210 South Valley Drive.
You know, you can go anywhere with it, but just keep asking
You know how to
yourself
tell
why.
if a man is serious about the work he does with his hands. Look at his feet. If he's
I'm
standing
pouring on the
around in some
ketchup,
discount
you're sprinkling the
he
salt and
probably
pepper
spends
on
his
it, but
days
your
just standing
details
around.
can be really
If he
interesting.
stands in a pair of Red Wing boots, that means he stands for something.
And I'm not saying
He
they
cares
aren't.
about the work he does.
It's not, you know, I'm just giving you a little
No, that's good.
His brains as much as his
tutoring on the job here.
boots are purpose-built for the exact work you do. Red Wing shoes.
142 Wyatt Drive, Las Cruces. Call 575-524-2486.
You're listening to high school football on Fox Sports AM 570, The Ticket, presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
10 play, 65 yards for Centennial on the opening drive of the season, and they lead the night 7-0. Before their defense hits the field, and Rewalt to boot it away. High end over end kick's going to come a little short, and it's caught at the 7. Knights to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, up the hash, 25, 30, 35, 40, he breaks free. 45 to the 50, into the Hawk 45-yard line. Run out of bounds at the Hawk 41-yard line. Zach Lauterbach, who will here as a running back in their offense, gives the Knights great field position.
And exactly what Oñate needed after Centennial's scoring drive. Several of the Centennial players didn't stay in their lanes going down the field. Big seam open up the middle.
So the ball will be marked for play at the Hawk 41-yard line. He caught it at the 7. 52-yard return for Lauterbach. Quarterback for the Oñate Knights, Tony Herrera, wears number 17. Junior, 170-pounder, sets the Oñate Knight offense. They're in the flex bone, usually a double wing with a fullback. They break it here. No wing to the right. And they go with 3 wide receivers, and on the first phase of the option, they hand to the fullback, and he is swallowed. After about a 2-yard gain, straight up the gut to the Hawk 39-yard line. That was Forrest McKee on the carry. 2nd down and 9. Well, this offense, when it isn't working, can be a little bit of a snooze. When it is working, just like any offense, it's fun when they're ripping off big plays. But you kind of got to soften them up a little bit.
When Kelly McKee can call all pieces of this offense, it's very, very difficult to handle. It stretches the field from sideline to sideline with the various option attacks.
2nd down and 9 for the Knights. The ball at the Centennial 40-yard line. Full flex bone this time. Fielder wing to the right. Yana's wing to the left. Fielder starts in motion. Option to the right side. The pitch is made. It's caught across the 35, up the sideline to the 30, and that's going to be very close to a 1st down. I think he has it, as Sal Yana is on the carry.
And again, all parts of that triple option offense being executed. Defensive tackle for Centennial did close down on the fullback. The defensive end did take the quarterback. The quarterback's able to pitch the ball outside for a nice gain and a 1st down.
Gain of 10 and a 1st down as Giannis took the pitch from Herrera and went down the right sideline for a 1st down. Ball's on the right hash now, which makes the wide side of the field to the left for the Knights as they have it 1st and 10 at the Centennial Hawk 30-yard line. Gaudian's the split wide receiver to the right. He's not split far off the line of scrimmage. Giannis goes in motion right to left. Little fight over the football between the fullback McKee and the quarterback Herrera. Herrera pulls it out of his belly and keeps for a small gain to the 29. Gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9. They were fighting over the football there.
A lot of penetration by the front of the Centennial defense as well. Knocked that play off balance before it really got started.
What's Herrera looking for right there?
He's looking to see whether the first defensive lineman on or outside the tackle on the line of scrimmage closes down and takes the fullback. If he does close and take the fullback, then the quarterback keeps the ball to execute either keeping or pitching the ball outside.
So it's 2nd down and 9 for the Knights. The ball at the Centennial 29-yard line. Fielder comes in motion. Back to pass is Herrera. He's going long for Guadian, and the pass is caught. Touchdown, Oñate. So Herrera throws a 29-yard TD pass, and it's 7-6. Centennial pending the PAT.
And a nice throw. Arced in the air by the quarterback. Not very well played by the Centennial defender. We're within 1 extra point of having a tie ball game.
Knights 4 plays, 41 yards on the drive, 6:36 to play in the opening quarter on the scoreboard. And it's Centennial 7, Oñate 6. As on to try the PAT is the senior Zach Weisenberger, who kicked the game off. Herrera is the holder for the Oñate Knights. Weisenberger lines it up. He's a soccer-style kicker. This is for the tie. Snap is good. Hold is good. The boot is away, and we are tied. Oñate 7, Centennial 7. About halfway through the first quarter, you're listening to Hawk and Knight football on AM 570, The Ticket.
We're hitting the streets to see what
Crowd filling in, people still pouring into the Field of Dreams. It's a good crowd, not as big as last year when it was a near sellout. Here we go, Weisenberger to boot it away. High end over end kick with some good hang time, caught at the 2. Hawks to the 5, to the 10, out to the right hash to the 15, finds a seam, 20, breaks the tackle, 25 down there. So the Hawks out around their own 25-yard line as Brandon Gomez brought it back for the Hawks. About 9 yards further back than where they started their last drive. Oñate got the Hawks to 3rd down a couple times, but couldn't get off the field.
No, they couldn't, and the misdirection plays really hurt Oñate on that opening series. We'll see what Centennial refers to here this second drive.
Mayfield and Hobbs getting ready to kick off now over in Hobbs. So that game has not begun yet. Here it's 7-7. Centennial with its second possession. 1st and 10 from the 26. Up top, pass caught, left side on the hash, and spun down immediately at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 9 on the completion from Lopez to Rewalt. And it's 2nd and a yard to go.
Little one-man pattern. Run up the field, turn and stop. Nice timing from the quarterback. 9-yard gain. 2nd and 1 for Centennial. Game's tied at 7. 6:02 to play in the first quarter. 4 wide receivers for the Hawks. 4-man defensive line for the Knights. Lopez to pass. First down completion to Junior Pena, who's brought down immediately at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll move to sticks. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. So Lopez, 2 for 3 for 14 yards. On the stat update brought to you by Sun Valley Hardware. Make it 1st and 10 at the 40 of Centennial for the Hawks. And with Oñate playing 4 across in the secondary, Centennial can't get that play pretty much anytime they want to.
Flankers to each side for Centennial. Lopez out of the gun with the back in the backfield with him. And he'll hand it off. Hasso bounces it out right to the sideline. 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, and cut down on the Centennial sideline at the 28-yard line. Another big run for the Hawks, a gain of 32.
this is where we're starting to see that veteran offensive line of Centennial really standing up the front of the Oñate defense. Hasso started left, broke it back around the right side, down the sideline for a big gain.
Hasso, a senior, 5'10", 165-pounder with a 32-yard run. He's got 3 carries for 37 yards so far in the ball game. And it's 1st and 10 for the Hawks at the Oñate 28-yard line. Lopez with a flanker to each side. Lopez out of the shotgun, fields a good snap, fakes a handoff, and keeps behind right guard. The Knights bottle it up and knock him backwards, but he picked up a couple at the 26-yard line. That's where they'll mark him. And for Lopez, that was his 2nd carry of the ball game. He has 5 yards on his 2 carries. 5:14 to play in the first. 7-7 the score. So the Knights with a win on defense on first down.
And Centennial continuing to just run this play, run that plays, finding out what works. That zone read down the sideline was a big play. Another zone play with a quarterback this last down.
2nd down and 8 for the Hawks at the Oñate 26-yard line. Hasso lined up to the left of Lopez in the shotgun. They motion Pena into the backfield, fake a handoff to him, give it to Hasso straight up the gut, gets to the 2nd level, cut down at the 20-yard line. Gain of 6 straight ahead, brings up 3rd and short.
And again, faking the fly sweep to the motion back. Hasso goes up the middle after that fake and nearly picks up a 1st down.
Got behind the 309-pound center, George Nunez.
He's a load, that's for sure.
4:20 to play in the opening quarter. We're tied at 7. Hawks haven't had to punt. They've had to convert on a couple of 3rd downs, and they're faced with another one here. 3rd down and 2. The ball at the Oñate 20-yard line. Twins to the left. One flanker to the right side. That's Pena. He comes in motion. And a little miscommunication in the backfield. Lopez now trying to ad-lib his way out of a mess when he's hit in the backfield and knocked down at the 23-yard line. Gutierrez zigged when Lopez thought he was going to zag. And it's 4th down.
And certainly confusion in the backfield. Fake the fly sweep. You think the ball is coming up the middle of the one remaining back. Hasso there. Clearly a mistake. And forces a 4th down for Centennial. Looks like they will go for it.
Loss of 4. It's 4th and 6 for Centennial at the Oñate 24-yard line. 2 tight ends, receiver to each side on 4th and 6. Lopez fields a waist-high snap, pumps. Now he's going long into the end zone. Penalty marker flies, and the pass is caught. Touchdown, Hawks. What a grab by Rewalt, being double covered, and I think he was interfered with to boot, but he made the catch as he was contested. We'll check the flag. It's at the 9-yard line.
Yes, I think this flag is going to get waved off. This is a touchdown by Centennial. And it's happened at both ends of the field, Jeff, and I know that I'm hard on people, but you know, defensive backs in high school football these days just don't play the ball well in the air at all. Happened to Centennial on the other end. Had 2 black-shirted Knights down here in the north end zone, and the Centennial kid comes up with the ball.
They called holding on the Knights. That was the 2 defenders holding Rewalt, who made the catch anyway. Heck of a grab. I mean, you're critiquing the defensive work, but how about the offensive work?
Yeah, catch lightning in a bottle. The 2 defenders are right there and really did not play the ball in the air well at all.
Heck of a grab by Rewalt. Makes it 13-7 Centennial. 3:14 to play in the opening quarter. Rewalt is the PAT kicker as well, and he tacks it on. 3:14 to play in the first. The Hawks score on 4th and 6. A TD pass of 24 yards from Lopez to Rewalt. And it's Centennial 14, Oñate 7. You're listening to Hawk and Knight football on AM 570, The Ticket.
Western Heritage Bank is a proud sponsor.
Hartshorn 14-7. Centennial with the lead, and here's the hawk kick. They're going to pooch it short. Caught by one of the upmen, backpedaling at the 18, coming right to the 20, gets to the hash to the 25, turns the corner, 30, 35, 40, and knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Again, terrible kick coverage by Centennial.
Last time, the first time Centennial kicked off the ball, there's a big seam that opened up the middle. The Centennial coverage unit this time compacted in the middle, and the Oñate return man gets to the sideline.
And it was
very, very typical first game of the season kind of mistakes.
And it wasn't even the deep man returning it.
No, it wasn't. It was one
of
the
upbacks. One of the guys you put up there to block. All right, 14-7 Centennial, 3:05 to play in the opening quarter. And the Knights start this possession at their own 43-yard line. They went 4 plays, 41 yards for a TD on their first possession. And option look, handoff to McKee, hit at the line of scrimmage, fights for a yard to the 44 off right guard. And it's 2nd down and 9 for Oñate at the Oñate 44-yard line. Did he read that right?
Well, he did read it right, but that's number 96, Marcus Minnick, in the center of the Centennial defense, actually running around the block of the center and then pursuing down the line of scrimmage. I've been watching Mr. Marcus. He's quite the football player, Jeff.
2:36 to play in the first quarter. Centennial 14, Oñate 7. Knights split a wide receiver to each side. Gaudian, who's 6'3", 200 pounds, wide to the right. He had the TD catch on the last drive. They start Lauterbach in motion. Counter option, coming right, pitch to fielder, up the sideline, dances along the sideline, manages to stay in bounds as he hugs the sideline across midfield, across the 45, and down to the Hawk 43-yard line. That's a first down after a gain of about 12 or 13 yards for fielder.
And Oñate continues to work the ball into the short side of the field. Most of the time, option teams will try that wide side with more space for that pitch man.
The Knights are proving to be pretty right-handed right now. Just in the 6 plays they've run, everything's been to the right. Well, I think they did run option left one time, but gave it to the fullback. So it's 1st and 10. The ball is at the Centennial 43-yard line on the right hash. Giannis, wing to the right. Fielder, wing to the left. McKee, the fullback. And Gaudian wide to the left. And timeout called. Well, maybe they got a delay. I don't know if they got a timeout or a delay here. Having trouble getting lined up. Ed Helsel's coaching up the quarterback. Delay a game against Oñate.
Delay of game.
Ed Helsel is a good official, but he does coach out there as well.
He was showing that the back judge acts as a play clock. We don't have play clocks in New Mexico. They do in Texas.
Yes, they do.
But here they don't. So when you get a cue on when you're getting late in the play clock, the back judge starts moving his hand and counting down the last 5 seconds, and Ed was showing the quarterback Herrera that the back judge was doing that. So it's 1st and 15, handoff to McKee. McKee pounds it across the 45 and down to the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 6, so they just got back everything they lost on the penalty, but it brings up 2nd down and 9.
Oñate in an unbalanced line, an extra lineman to the wide side of the field, running the first phase of the option. May have even been a little base block, fullback dive play, 6 yards.
2nd and 9 for Oñate as we're under a minute to play in the opening quarter. Centennial by 7. 2nd and 9 at the Hawk 42-yard line. Gaudian wide to the left. Lauterbach and fielder of the wingbacks. McKee, the fullback. Here comes fielder in motion. Handoff to McKee. He's loose. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, and down to the 19-yard line. They got the fullback for a big hitter over the right side, and it's 1st and 10 for the Knights. After a gain of 22 yards by Forrest McKee, the line really moved him out of there.
Well, again, a heavy set by Oñate to the wide side of the field, coming back into the short side. McKee found himself a seam off the right guard.
30 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Centennial 14, Oñate 7, Knights driving. Drive started back at their own 43-yard line. They're at the Hawk 20 now. Herrera, the quarterback. Flex bone set, Lauterbach in motion, takes the handoff, heads behind right tackle across the 18 down to the 17. It's a gain of 3 on his first carry from scrimmage of the ball game. And that will end the first quarter. It's Centennial 14, Oñate 7 at the end of 1. You're listening to Hawk and Knight football on AM 570, The Ticket.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Hawks leads 14-7. Knight fans, don't forget, get your game program and your 50-50 tickets. They're being sold by the freshman football players. The winner will be announced at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Also, Oñate Knights merchandise is being sold on the Northwest Concourse. Thank you for supporting Oñate football. The Oñate High School Football Booster Club would like to thank the National Guard for providing tonight's post-game meal. The Centennial Hawk Football Booster Club would like to thank the Bryce Rewald family and the Jake Boykin family for providing tonight's post-game meal.
For Oñate, but the Knights are moving. I want to remind you to stay tuned after the game for the Las Cruces Public Schools post-game show. We'll also name our Steve Barrett Real Estate Player of the Game after the game tonight. It's beautiful out here now. The wind blowing a little bit, keeping us cool. It's a warm fall evening, but not as warm as it could be with that cloud cover late in the afternoon. Mayfield and Hobbs underway now. In Hobbs, we understand they had a moment of silence for Jim Bradley, who passed away a couple of weeks ago, and our condolences to the Bradley family. We'll catch up with the Trojans next week when they host Franklin here at the Field of Dreams. 2nd and 7 for the Knights. 2 men in motion at the same time. Flags fly. They'll run the play. This one's coming back, though, as Herrera hit at the 15-yard line. Should they have stopped the play? It doesn't matter. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty either way.
I don't think they will stop the play when it is the two backs in motion. If a lineman jumped, then they would stop the play.
Since they let the play go,
I think they'll take the result of the play.
Yeah, well, it's only a gain of a couple. So it could be 3rd and 5, or it can be 2nd and about 13. What would you rather have as a defensive coordinator?
2nd and 13. Anytime there's plus yardage, again, when you can reverse that with a penalty and make a 2nd and long situation, I'd much rather take the 2nd and long.
It's taken a long time to explain it to the captain.
Up north, we have a final score in the Montwood Las Cruces High School game. 20-14, Montwood.
Might have heard the update of the score over the Field of Dreams PA system. Bulldogs lost to Montwood 20-14 in their opener.
And that may be okay too, Jeff, because Montwood's supposed to be pretty good.
They had a lightning delay in that game. That was a 4 p.m. game because they're having multiple games at the SAC in El Paso. So the Bulldogs take on La Cueva in Albuquerque a week from tomorrow. Timeout on Oñate. After all that, Centennial accepted the penalty. So it's 2nd and 13. We'll keep it here.
They called the game in the 3rd quarter.
Jeff, I'm impressed with Tony Herrera, the quarterback for Oñate, and his reads, particularly early in this first game of the season. He hasn't misread any of the option plays. If the defense has closed down on the fullback, he's kept the ball. We've seen Forrest McKee on this drive a couple of times where, again, Herrera reading perfectly, no defender closed on the fullback, and McKee's picked up a couple of nice gains. I'm impressed with Tony Herrera.
Got a further update on that game in El Paso, Mark. They canceled the game in the 3rd quarter due to lightning. So that game ended in the 3rd quarter with the Bulldogs down 20-14. Goes as a loss, but who knows how it would have ended if they could have gone 4 quarters.
Well, certainly when you've got lightning in the area, you just can't play. You just can't do it.
Safety
Absolutely.
first, right?
Got to.
We weren't down there. I don't know the situation, but I can't imagine they made that decision lightly.
Oh, I'm sure they didn't. And was it last year or the year before that we had La Cueva down here, El Dorado, somebody playing the Bulldogs, and that game didn't get any of that game in.
Played a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't count because it wasn't enough of a game to count. This one might count. I don't know. The NMAA will have to decide. Here we go. 11:48 to play in the half. 14-7. Centennial with the lead. 2nd and 12 for the Knights. The ball with the Hawk. 22-yard line. Herrera ducks in behind center. Sends fielder in motion left to right. Bootleg left side. Herrera gets pressure right away, and he's going to be sacked. The ball comes free. They're going to rule it a fumble, and the Hawks have come out of there with the ball. Brett Jaquist on the sideline saying he was down. They've thrown the beanbag. That means that official thought it was a fumble, but it looks like he's being overruled, and they're calling it a sack now, back at the 29, loss of 7. So a break for the Knights there, and the fact that they'll get another down at least.
Oh, they definitely dodged a bullet on that one. I don't think he was down before that ball came free.
3rd down.
One official thought it was a fumble, the side man. The hit man ruled he was down, and it's hard to get overruled if you're the head man. So it's 3rd down and 19 for the Knights. The ball is at the Centennial 29-yard line. Knights are down 7. Probably 4-down territory here. Knights having trouble getting lined up. They're a little confused. Herrera ducks underneath center on 3rd and 19. They send Yanez in motion. Herrera to pass. Is protected. Lobs it up long for Guardian in the end zone. He has it. Is he inbounds? Yes! Touchdown! A 29-yard TD pass from Herrera to Guardian. The 2nd time they've hooked up tonight. It's a 1-point game.
Get simple route straight up the field. Throw the ball up in the air. Receiver makes a great play. And my skin is crawling, Jeff, to watch this kind of defensive secondary work.
So Herrera's 2 for 2 for 2 TDs, both 29-yard TD passes to Guardian. 10:39 to play in the half, 14-13. Centennial with the lead, but Weisenberger in for the PAT attempt. If he drills it, we'll be tied at 14. Herrera is the holder. Weisenberger to boot it. Snap is good. Hold is good. The kick is away. And we're tied at 14. So 10:39 to play in the half. On the scoreboard, it's 14-all. Here at the Field of Dreams, you're listening to Hawk and Night Football on AM 570, The Ticket.
Someday we'll close the bank of mom and dad. Every parent looks forward to that day, and Wells Fargo can help. We give your child financial guidance and tools tailored just for them. From the college combo designed to help them be financially successful, to learning tools like the hands-on banking program, an online center for help with budgeting, and more. Why wait for someday? Stop by Wells Fargo or visit wellsfargo.com/student today. Wells Fargo, the next stage. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Southwest Sports Spine Center, Wells Fargo Bank, a bike development, ABC Printing Company, Able Sign Company, Allstate Benefits, American Documents, Applebee's, Ashley's Furniture Home Store, Atlas Travel, Beasley Mitchell and Company Inc., and Chili River Inc.
Play in the half. Oñate and Centennial tied up here at the Field of Dreams. Understand Mayfield's taken a 7-0 lead over Hobbs in Hobbs. Bulldogs lost to Montwood in a shortened game due to lightning, 20-14. Here's Weisenberger's kick. It's high, it's short near the sideline, hits and goes out of bounds. Went out of bounds at the 10. It hit inbounds and then bounced out of bounds.
Flag on the play.
So the Hawks can take that up. Pretty good field position or make them kick again. Looks like they're going to take the ball. When you're having trouble covering kicks, why not just kick it out of bounds every time? I guess because they can decline, right?
Well, they can, but the other problem is you give up field position that way. As opposed to some of these pooch kicks, to try to enhance the coverage, why not put the ball on the ground and just put it up the middle of the field and let it bounce around and cause some problems for the timing of the return team?
It would be an improvement in Centennial's coverage if they do that next time, but You're also here, it's a week one.
True.
You got to work on some stuff here. I mean,
very much so.
You don't want to surrender on kickoffs for the rest of the year.
No, and Jeff, I don't know that these two schools are in mid-season form, but they're pretty darn good.
It's a good game. 14 all. Centennial has it at its own 35-yard line. Lopez out of the gun with 3 wide receivers, 2 to the short side of the field to the left. And a handoff, stretch play coming right. Hasso hit behind the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss. Shooting in there was Forrest McKee to make the stop. Also in there for the Knights was Luis Duarte, one of the defensive linemen. It's a loss of a yard, second down and 11.
The loss of 1. Second down.
5 carries, 42 yards for Hasso tonight. On the stat update brought to you by Sun Valley Hardware. .10:04 to play in the half. Oñate 14, Centennial 14. Receiver each side. Lopez out of the gun. 2 tight ends. Good snap to Lopez. Fakes a handoff. Now he's throwing deep. Peña's open. He has it. 35-30. 25-20. Brought down at the 15-yard line. As making the stop for the Knights was Monroe Young. But it's a big play for the Hawks, and they have it 1st and 10 down at the Knight 14-yard line.
And we've seen Centennial do that week after week, run their offense, run the fly sweep, run the zone play. They lull you to sleep, play action pass, and get behind the secondary.
Lopez has hit on his last 4 passes. He's 4 for 5 for 90 yards and a TD. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. The ball is at the Oñate 14-yard line. Lopez out of the shotgun and whistle and a flag. Both linesmen dropped laundry on the field. And we'll see what they have here. 9:36 to play in the half. We're tied at 14. Neither team's punted in the game. And the Hawks were offsides as they came to the line of scrimmage. Aaron Ocampo out to talk to the linesman on his sideline. That's the first penalty against Centennial.
5-yard penalty.
For 5 yards. Oñate has 3 penalties for 15 yards in the ball game. And so it's 1st and 15 at the Oñate 19-yard line. 9:33 to play until halftime here at the Field of Dreams. Out of the shotgun. Lopez with 1 wide receiver to each side. Hands to Hasso. Hasso goes behind the left guard and punches it near the original line of scrimmage up to around the 15 for a gain of 4 or 5. 2nd and about 11.
Again, I think Aaron Ocampo's been watching the Las Cruces Bulldogs. 2 tight ends, 2 flankers, offset back, right side guard, right side tight end pulling to the left to try to create that seam on the offside of the Oñate defense.
2nd and 11 for Centennial at the Oñate 16-yard line. Knights having trouble getting lined up defensively. Lopez sets the Hawks, and Peña goes in motion, and they hand off on a counter play to Hasso coming right. Hasso spun down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 3 and brings up 3rd and long.
Hasso in the carry.
As the Knight defense
Made by James
on the left
Martin.
side of the defense played that well. Martin made the stop.
Brings up.
James, a 6'4", 220-pound junior defensive end. They defense that well. So 3rd and 10 for the Hawks at the Oñate 14-yard line. Peña in motion. And Lopez hands it to Peña. Peña splits some defenders, turns it upfield on the sweep, and he scores. Touchdown. 3rd and 10, and the Hawks score a TD from 14 yards out.
See, Centennial used the strength of the Oñate defense against the Knights. That play was designed to be, looked to be, that offside GT guard and tackle, guard and tight end pulling to the right, quarterback keeping to the right. It's a false key play. It's a false influence play. Oñate read the scheme up front very well, but Hasso had kept the ball around the left side on that sweep action and got in the end zone.
It's Peña.
Peña, excuse me.
Gave it to the flanker. PAT kicked by Rewalt, hits the right upright, and caroms backwards. It's no good. Makes the score Centennial 20, Oñate 14, 8:06 to play in the half. Oñate keeps getting the Hawks down to 3rd and long, but can't make a stop. Centennial scored all 3 times it's had the ball. 20-14 Centennial. You're listening to Hawk and Night Football on AM 570, The Ticket.
You know how to tell if a man is serious about the work he does with his hands. Look at his feet. If he's standing around in some discount store, he probably...
I'll be drawing those tickets right at the beginning of the 4th quarter. Colton Smith with the return. 10-yard return, Colt Smith. First down, Knights.
Kick to Oñate. The Knights have the ball at their own 40-yard line. It was a squib kick, so they've kind of surrendered in the kicking game. They're just surrendering the ball out at the 40 now, but that's probably the worst field position the Knights have had tonight after a kick. So 1st and 10 for Oñate. The ball at the Oñate Knight 40-yard line. And Herrera, who has 2 TD passes tonight, has only 2 pass attempts behind center. Option look to the left side. They swallow him as they got penetration. And it's a loss of 2. He never had a chance. They didn't look like they blocked anybody there.
Well, they really didn't, and the biggest problem was they didn't block Marcus Minnick down there in the middle of that defense, who again ran around the block and they chased the quarterback down from behind.
7:40 to play in the half. It's 20-14. Centennial leads it. Neither team has punted in the game. I have an old defensive coordinator sitting here next to me. I made his skin crawl.
Well, you didn't, but the secondary backs have.
2nd and 11 for the Knights at the Oñate 39-yard line. There goes Lauterbach in motion. They hand it off to the fullback McKee. He's tripped up by a linebacker, but he popped it out to the 46-yard line for a gain of 7. Quick hitter. 5 carries, 37 yards for Forrest. And it brings up 3rd and 4. The ball was at the Oñate 44-yard line. Will somebody have to punt tonight? The Knights face with 3rd and 4 near midfield now. Mayfield's up 14-0 on Hobbs now. Over in Hobbs.
You mean to tell me Hobbs doesn't tackle any better this year than last year?
I don't know. We're not there, Mark.
No, but we've seen Hobbs play before.
3rd and 4. Fielder goes in motion. Option. Pitch. Fielder has it. First down at the 50. He's to the 45. And knocked down at the Centennial 44-yard line.
Again, that time an outside veer option. The fullback going off tackle. The defensive end closed down on the fullback. Herrera keeps the ball, takes it to the perimeter, and pitches to the trailing back for a first down. Again, very, very well executed option offense in the hands of Oñate quarterback Tony Herrera.
Neither team has punted still. That was a 3rd and 4, and Oñate picked up 9 and a first down. They're in Centennial territory now. At the Hawk 45-yard line with 6:10 to play in the half. The Hawks lead it by 6. Gotti in wide to the left. He has 2 TD grabs tonight of 29 yards each. Herrera sends the right wing in motion. That's Lauterbach. Option left side. Pitch. McKee has it. McKee pulls a tackle for 5 yards and is dropped at the Centennial 40-yard line. That play basically was defensed well, but nobody could bring McKee down. He just dragged a tackler for 5 yards.
Yeah, Forrest McKee is a big boy, too. There's going to be other people that are going to have a hard time bringing him down at 6'1", 220 pounds.
Hawks got penetration. They had people in there to slow the play down. Grab McKee at the line of scrimmage, and it's still a positive play for the Knights. 2nd and 5 now at the Hawk 40-yard line. Herrera ducks underneath center. Sends Fielder in motion. Pulls it out of the fullback's belly. Pitches to Fielder. Going right. Picks up the block for This weaves his way for a first down. Gets out onto the edge for a gain of 6 and a first down. That was a well-executed option play.
Once again, Oñate setting the strength of the formation into the boundary, running the short side option, perfectly read by Herrera. First down for the Knights.
And the part that impressed me a lot there was his ability to pitch in traffic.
Absolutely. Which, that option offense, quarterback's going to have to do that at times.
5 minutes to play in the half. The Hawks by 6. The Knights with the ball at the Hawk 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Gotti in wide to the left. Martin split wide to the right. Fielder starts in motion. And McKee takes the handoff and pulls 2 tacklers with him for about 4 down to the 31-yard line. 2nd down, 6.5 to go. That's kind of a push, right? A gain of 3. The defense didn't really lose. Offense got a little something done.
It is, and what Onate has done tonight, Jeff, this first game of the season, they really have all pieces of their option offense working out there. They run the inside option, the middle, what's called the mid option, and the outside option. And again, Herrera is executing all pieces of it very, very well.
2nd and 7 for the Knights. The ball at the Hawk 31-yard line. Flex bone set. Gianna's in motion. Little counter option look. Herrera throws it out wildly. It's batted around and caught by the Hawks. So the Hawks have a takeaway on it as they finally get a defensive stop in this game. Coming out of there with the football is Antonio Luna. Herrera started a counter option look, was coming left. The Hawks got penetration. He just kind of flung it out of there. I'm not so sure that wouldn't be an interception.
No, I believe it was an interception. And I don't understand, Jeff, they've moved the ball so well with their option game. Why get cute with this little counter option thing that, looked like a drop back pass almost on the line of scrimmage? It was just a really strange play.
So the Hawks get the first stop of the game. The Knights were moving it, but turn it over. And the ball marked for play at the Centennial 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for Centennial. The Knights looking for their first defensive stop of the evening still. Out of the shotgun, Lopez sends a wide receiver in motion. They run a reverse to Pena going left, 40, 45, 50. He's got the 45 to 40 to the far sideline to the 35, and he stepped out of bounds inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. So another big play for the Hawks. 35-yard run for Pena, who has a TD run tonight already.
Run out of bounds by Monroe.
Again, a misdirection, fake sweep one way, reverse toss to the wide side the other way. Pena's got some wheels, Jeff. He can move.
I know they're in the shotgun, and I know they're kind of in the spread, so to speak, but there's a lot of wing T in this offense.
Yeah, it absolutely is. People have thought the spread offense is something new in the last few years. It goes back to the 1950s.
But that misdirection play, Bill Gentry and the Highland Hornets. 1st and 10 at the Oñate 26-yard line. Handoff to Hasso on the counter going left across the 25 to the 23.
Keith Hasso with a carry.
A gain of 3 or 4. Hasso with 53 yards on 8 carries tonight.
Gain of 3.
Stat update brought to you by Sun Valley Hardware. Lopez throwing 4 for 5 for 90 yards and a TD tonight. Their leading ground gainer is Pena. 4 carries, 82 yards and a TD. So the Knights trying to get off the field. They have not done so successfully defensively tonight at all. 3:11 to play until halftime. The Hawks by 6, 2nd and 7 at the 23. Lopez hands off. Hasso coming right. This time the Knights defense stands and stops him at the 20. Still a gain of 3, but it brings up 3rd and 4.
Gutierrez on the carry.
That was Gutierrez instead of Hasso. I might change up back there. Still a Gain of 3, though. 4 carries, 21 yards, and a TD.
Kansas brings up
3rd and 4. The ball is at the Oñate 20-yard line with 2:40 to play until halftime. So the Hawks come to the line of scrimmage. Flanker to each side, 2 tight ends set. Lopez out of the gun, fakes a handoff, wants to go up top, and the pass is knocked down, incomplete. Martin, the defensive end, got in there and batted it away. And it's 4th down and 4 for the Hawks at the Oñate 20-yard line. Ends a string of 4 straight completions for Dante Lopez. Clock stops with 2:20 to play in the half. Centennial 20, Oñate 14. Hawks are going to go for it on 4th down and 4 at the Oñate 20-yard line. Twins to the right, 1 flanker to the left. And he comes in motion into the backfield. Fake handoff to him. Pass into the 2nd yard line. Open, dropped at the 5-yard line. It's incomplete. They had the tight end wide open, and he couldn't hang on to it.
And that's nothing more than a wing T bootleg play. Corner bit on the fake and rolled up to the line of scrimmage. Tight end wide open and simply dropped the football.
So the night defense fortunate, but they held. So neither team scores. On their last possession, a turnover for the Knights. Downs for the Hawks. There's 2:16 to play in the half. Oñate has it 1st and 10. The ball at the Oñate 20-yard line now. They need to go 80 yards in 2:16. They have 2 timeouts remaining. So back to the flex bone for the Knights. Fielder goes in motion. Hand off to the fullback. He's pulling tacklers with him for 9 out to the 30-yard line. The carry is Young.
Number
for
7,
the first time. That's
Young
Young.
on the carry.
Change up.
A gain of 9.
Probably more
2nd
of a
down.
defensive rest for McKee, who's going both ways.
Yes.
And it's not like Young's a little guy.
No, he isn't. And Forrest McKee is one of the few Oñate players going both ways. Centennial has no one playing both offense and defense.
2nd down and a yard to go for the Knights at the Oñate 29-yard line as we hit the 1 minute and 40-second mark. The Hawks lead by 6. Yana's in motion. Back to pass is Herrera, fires it up to Quaddy, and it hangs in the air forever, but it eventually makes it to him. It's caught, and he steps out of bounds at the 36 for a 1st down. After a gain of 7. He's made all of their catches.
4th down by Ochoa.
3 catches for 65 yards. On the Sun Valley Hardware strategy.
A very simple play action fake in the middle, single receiver route on the outside. 1 minute and 31 seconds, Jeff. Can Oñate go the distance?
2 timeouts. Young, I beg your pardon, that's Gotti in line to the right. Young was the fullback behind Herrera. Lauterbach's in there at the right wing, Fielder at the left wing. Option look to the right side. Young takes the handoff and pounds his way out to the 41-yard line. Gain of 5, but the clock is moving. Oñate will get the ball first in the 2nd half. It's 20 to 14. Centennial leads it down to 1 minute 14 to play in the half. Stay tuned after the game. The Las Cruces Public Schools post-game show. Give me some scores. Update the stats. Name player of the game brought to you by Barrett Real Estate. 2nd and 5 from the 41. Herrera going up top. Hits Gotti into midfield. He's hit immediately. He might have eked his way into Centennial territory. Flags fly. Flag on the play. And the Knights are across midfield if the play stands. So they go from the 41 to the 49. That's a gain of 10 if the play stands. And we have a tack on face mask.
what they'll look for, Jeff, eventually they keep completing these play-action passes in front of the corner. At some point in time, that quarterback is going to fake that short 5, 6, 7, 8-yard out pattern. The split end's going to take off and then try to throw it over the top.
Second penalty for 10 yards against the Hawks now. It was a 5-yard penalty. The Knights have it at the Hawk 46, still 2 timeouts left. And 50 seconds to play until halftime. 5-0, 50 seconds. So they've moved it from the 20 to the Hawk 46 now. Clock's rolling as the Knights have made it. Down to 43, down to 42, down to 41 as a snap. And off to Young. Young into the secondary. And then gets to the 40, down to the 39-yard. And they'll take a timeout. Gain of 6, maybe 7. Timeout on the field. We're going to take a 30-second break. Now let's just keep it here. We got 33 seconds till halftime. I think we've got all our first half breaks in. I don't want to miss an exciting touchdown in the last 33 seconds of the half. The Oñate High School 20-14 Centennial. And the Knights getting into striking range here.
They absolutely are, and what they're doing is continuing to run their option offense. That time the defensive tackle did not close on the fullback inside, and again Herrera makes the right read, and we have a 6-yard gain. So even though we only have 30 seconds to go in the half, Jeff, Oñate continues to run their game, which is that triple option.
So you got 33 seconds and 1 timeout. They've thrown 2 TD passes, but primarily we're grounded on a team that he approaches the last 33 seconds with 1 timeout.
With only 1 timeout and 30
Knight fans coming alive here. Hawk fans answering. 20-14 Centennial. 33 seconds to play in the half. And the Knights come to the line of scrimmage at 2nd and 4 at the Hawk 40-yard line with 33 seconds to play until halftime. Herrera drops the pass. He's going long. The pass is overthrown and incomplete down at the 12-yard line. He was going to Martin, and the pass falls incomplete. So they threw it away from Gaudy inside, who has every catch in the ball game for the Knights. That stops the clock with 29 seconds to play in the half. Centennial 20, Oñate 14, and it's 3rd down and 4 for the Knights. The ball at the Centennial 40-yard line.
And given 29 seconds to go, Jeff, Oñate may have to throw that ball again.
Well, a 1st down would stop the clock, and they do have the 1 timeout if they need to use it. 3rd and 4, Knights line up. Ball's right in the middle of the field at the Centennial 40-yard line. Herrera going up top, and it's incomplete. Little quick hitter to Fielder going up the hash. Found a little seam. Herrera put some mustard on it, and Fielder couldn't hold on. It was a little behind him. 4th down and 4 for the Knights at the Centennial 40 with 26 seconds to play in the half. What do you do?
Throw it again. You know, Oñate had the Centennial defense tricked. They were in their overset, but the inside slot back is eligible, even though the tight end is not, with the split end on the same side. So they absolutely had the right play called.
They're going to go for it. 4th and 4 at the Centennial 40-yard line with 26 seconds to play in the half, and the Knights are down 6. And now the Knights are going to take a timeout here. Brent Jaquist didn't like what he saw as the Knights lined up. So we'll take a timeout here. We'll keep it here. 26 seconds to play in the half. It's Oñate trailing Centennial 20-14 late in the 2nd quarter at the Field of Dreams. Next week, Centennial has Gadsden. Mayfield has Franklin here at the Field of Dreams. Las Cruces is at La Cueva. Oñate is at El Paso Eastland, who was beaten by El Paso Colorado last night. I got a late 4th quarter score. It was 70-42.
Ouch. They just put a bunch of bags of sand out there for defenders and run around them. You know what's going on in a 70-42 game?
A lot, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
26 seconds remains until halftime. The Hawks lead the Knights by 6. It's 4th and 4 for Oñate at the Centennial 40-yard line. Herrera sets the tune. Herrera sends Yanez in motion. Herrera pitches it to Young. Young on the sideline is stopped short of the first down. At the 38-yard line, he picked up 2. They needed 4. So the Knights did not get the first down. The play didn't look like it had a chance from the get-go, and the clock stops with 19 seconds to play until halftime. And Centennial, beg your pardon, has it at their own 38-yard line. Up 6.
And Centennial's a dangerous team in this situation, too.
At halftime, we're going to send it back to the studio. Get some score updates from there. And when we get back to the stadium a little later in the halftime show, we will give you some statistics. 1st and 10 for Centennial at their own 38-yard line. Lopez going up top, fires into the slot, complete at the 45, out to midfield, first down and gain of 12 for the Hawks as Rewalt made the catch.
Pass is complete to Bryce for Rewalt.
Rewalt
First down.
making his 3rd catch. He has a TD for the Hawks. 102 yards passing for Lopez tonight. Mayfield having its way with Hobbs tonight. 27-7. I understand the Trojans are up at the 2nd quarter in Hobbs. That game was delayed by weather. Bulldog game ended in the 3rd quarter down in El Paso with the Dogs losing to Montwood. If it stands up, I don't know if that's a complete game or not. Did they go 5 innings?
Complete game.
It is a complete game.
Texas rule.
The Texas rule, it's a complete game. If it was in New Mexico, I don't know how it would have gone, but it looks like it's going to go as a loss for Cruces High, we understand. 1st and 10 for the Hawks at midfield. 14 seconds to play in the half. The Hawks by 6. Good snap to Lopez. 3-step drop. Now he steps up, throws, his arm is hit, and the pass falls incomplete out in the flat. Nobody there. That stops the clock with 10 seconds to play until halftime. 20-14. Centennial with the lead. Well, you're looking for storylines in this game. Lots of offense early. Neither team could stop each other till the Knights committed a turnover on their 3rd possession. Since then, neither team has scored. And the Hawks lead it by 6. 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Lopez. Shovel pass. It's caught at midfield. Brought down at the 49-yard line immediately as Gutierrez. As all over that defensively was McKee. And they stopped the clock with a Centennial timeout with 2 seconds to play in the half.
Centennial.
And you know, Jeff, that's a give-up play right there. You've got ball at midfield, 10 seconds to go in the half. Why not take a shot and throw it deep down the sideline? What bad thing can happen in that? So to throw a shovel pass up the middle of the field and get 2 yards with 10 seconds to go, how does that help you?
That might have worked. It didn't work, but it might have.
Thank you. Okay. And so now with 2 seconds to go, we'll look for Centennial. 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side here. It'll be one of those Hail Mary plays, Jeff, I think, down here in the right-hand corner of the end zone. Throw it up in the air and see if something good can happen for you.
Did every play you ever called work?
Most of them.
Oh, please.
Most of them.
3rd down and 9 for the Hawks at the Knight 49-yard line. Rolling right as Lopez, looking to the 3-receiver side, heaves it up, a lot of air underneath it. Tackle made in the secondary, and they're going to get an interference call down at the 10-yard line. Now, in high school, that is not a spot foul. Rewalt was absolutely tackled at the 10-yard line. If we were in the college or pro game, this would be a bigger penalty than what it's going to turn out to be, especially in the pro game. That's a spot foul. They'd get the ball down at the 10 with an untimed down, but here this is going to be marked off from the line of scrimmage.
I think the Oñate defender actually started that tackle about the 20-yard line, Jeff, and completed it about the 10-yard line. So what do we have here? We have a 10-yard penalty and another down, 15 and another down. Well, we'll look for the same thing. What do you have to lose? No time on the clock. Throw it up in the air, see if you can get somebody down the field.
If it's 15 yards, that'd put them at the 34 of Oñate. Time has expired, but the half can't end on a defensive penalty, so Centennial will get an untimed down, and they're within striking distance now.
They absolutely are. And again, the opportunity, why not? Throw it up down there. See, again, we've seen stranger things happen.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
And now with the ball on the 34-yard line, it's not even necessarily a desperation heave. You can run a legitimate play. Sure, it has to have some depth to it, but they don't have to just throw the ball up in a pack of people and hope.
So Centennial's going to take their last time out to set up this play from the Oñate 34-yard line. 20-14, the Hawks lead it. Time has expired, but because of the pass interference penalty on the Hail Mary, the Hawks will get an untimed down here with the clock expired from the Oñate 34-yard line. For the Oñate Knights, 4 penalties, 30 yards on the Sun Valley Hardware stat update. The Hawks have been penalized twice for 10 yards. Dante Lopez tonight's thrown the ball 10 times. He's 6 for 10 for 104 yards and a TD. His leading receiver has been Rewalt, who has 3 grabs and a TD. Here we go. Ball at the 34, 1st and 10, untimed down. Lopez rolls right. Lopez sets up. He fires right side of the end zone. A lot of contact in the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. Rewalt again. And the Hawks score on the last play of the half on an untimed down. Bryce Rewalt and the defender were really engaged in a hand battle, and they let him play, Mark.
Well, they absolutely did on that play, Jeff. And Rewalt made a terrific play. I'll not comment on the secondary technique going on in this game on both sides.
For Rewalt, it's his 2nd TD grab of the ball game. And it's 26-14. Centennial leads it as they score on an untimed down from the 34-yard line as Lopez has thrown 2 TD passes. And now the Hawks will go for 2. Ball's at the 3. Pena goes in motion. Lopez fakes to Pena and fires into the back of the end zone, and the pass is dropped. Incomplete. The 2-point play fails. But at the half, it's Centennial 26, Oñate 14 on the scoreboard as the 2 teams head to the locker room. We're going to send it back to the studios at AM 570 Fox Sports. The ticket for our Burger Time Golf Tournament halftime report.
Send it right to me.
Mark and I will be returning here at the Field of Dreams, in about 10 minutes or so. But they put 15 minutes up on the clock, so we got about an 18-minute halftime here tonight, Mark, and you and I will have a chance to recap here in a little bit. But at the half, Centennial 26, Oñate 14. We'll send it to Ernesto Garcia back at Scoreboard Central. He'll whip you around the state with some scores and more on our Burger Time Golf Tournament halftime show. Ernesto, take it away. The 164-member Royal Knight Regiment is under the direction of Band Director Sean Silva and Kevin Mormon. Percussion instructors Valentine Leva, Eric Rangel, and Danny Bidwell. Color guard instructors are Katie Mullen and Julia Burford. Tonight, the Royal Knight Regiment will take you on a journey through Route 66, Chicago to St. Louis. RKR's music
soloist, Jared Sines. Drum majors, Hannah Padrushny, Brianna Kilsdorf, and Maddie Mitchell. I'll let them get set up. Okay, Hannah, Brianna, and Maddie. Now, is your band ready? for the young team. From Las Cruces, New Mexico, Oñate. Las Cruces Public Schools Athletics would like to extend its sincere thanks to the Las Cruces Orthopedic Associates for their continued support of our athletic programs. Dr. Michael McGarner, alongside Will Williams and David Barrera, are the primary providers for orthopedic health care and event coverage for the athletes of Centennial, Las Cruces, Oñate, and Mayfield. Thank you for putting our student athletes first. Having won the opening coin toss and deferred, Oñate will receive the kickoff to begin the second half.
I don't know if the wind will help or hurt. It's kind of blowing across the field. We'll find out as Rewalt gets his foot into it, and the second half is underway, and it carries to the 1 yard line and bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So it helped.
The kickoff goes through the end zone.
And that wind is blowing hard. It shouldn't impact the Oñate offense very much. That is not a passing offense to begin with, but it will affect the kicking game, both the kickoffs and punts.
So Mayfield's rolling over Hobbs. Isaac Vance with the first quarter that would be a good 2-game total for a lot of backs. We'll see the Trojans against Franklin of El Paso here at the Field of Dreams next week. That was a classic game last year in El Paso. Bulldogs go to La Cueva next week after losing in a shortened game due to weather, lightning down in El Paso today. 1st and 10 for the Knights at their own 20-yard line. Lauderback in motion. Herrera can't handle the snap. Knights fall on it back at the 15 for a loss of 5, so an inauspicious start to the start of the second half as Forrest McKee saves the day pouncing on the ball, but it's a loss of 5. 2nd and 15 for the Knights at their own 15-yard line.
And that is not what the Knights needed to start this first series of the second half. They really need to move the ball. They really need to get some points, Jeff, because this thing could get out of hand if they don't.
Well, there was toe-to-toe there right up until the turnover. And it was still anybody's ball game, and then the last play of the first half swung the momentum Centennial's way, and now they're looking for the knockout blow. Herrera, hands off, counter play coming right. He's across the 15 to the 16. Ball comes free. Hawks say they have it, and they do. So the Knights with their second turnover of the ball game, and that puts Centennial on a short field at the Oñate 14-yard line. So the Hawks looking to go for the knockout blow here early in the third quarter.
And I wonder if we'll get a play action pass here, Jeff. A lot of times in what situations such as this are called sudden change situations, the offense will try to go deep and score right away with the defense back on their heels.
So the Hawks have the ball at the Oñate 14-yard line. This is the third play of the second half, and the Hawks lead it by a dozen. Lopez brings the team to the line of scrimmage, sends Rewalt in motion, fakes a handoff to Rewalt and keeps, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Nice play by Oñate's defense while being blocked. Duran made the tackle for the Knights. He was being blocked, yet he made the stop.
Second up.
I got stuff blowing on. Basically, our radio booth has turned into a dust devil.
It kind of has, hasn't it?
Little unsettling. Lopez, 4 carries, 1 yard tonight. Second down, 10 to go. The ball at the Oñate 14-yard line. Out of the shotgun. Lopez can't handle the snap. It bounces back towards the line of scrimmage, and Lopez dives on it. That's a loss of 2. So it's 3rd and 12 now. This has been the down that Oñate has struggled on defensively. Well, they've struggled on more than 3rd down, but they've had a number of opportunities on 3rd down to get off the field. They haven't been able to do it. 4-down territory, no doubt. 3rd down and 12. The ball is at the Oñate 16-yard line. Wide receiver each side. Lopez looking to throw. Lobs it up. Going for Rewalt, and the pass broken up at the back of the end zone. They had double coverage on him, and they knocked it away this time. 2 Knights back covering Rewalt. That's a good idea what the night Rewalt's had.
Absolutely.
4th down and 12.
And much better played that time by the 2 Knight defenders, running stride for stride, hip to hip with the receiver, turning and playing the ball when the ball came down in the area of the receiver. A lot better technique that time than the other occasions we've seen tonight.
Villella and Lauterbach were on coverage. They're going to go for a field goal on 4th down and 13. Ball is going to be spotted at the 24, so it's a 34-yard field goal attempt, and the kick is good. So Rewalt hits a 34-yard field goal, and that gives Centennial a 29-14 lead with 9:45 to play in the 3rd quarter. But you got to credit the Knight defense for keeping them in the ball game after that turnover by the Knight offense. Centennial by 15. Back in a minute. You're listening to Hawk and Knight football on AM 570, The Ticket.
Digital Solutions, electrical contracting services, Exit Realty, First Light Credit Union, Hoover, Johnston Supply, Kelly Liquid, LP Building Supply, Las Cruces Garage, number 281, and Millennial Health and Wellness. The kick is through the end zone for a touchback. Oñate takes over on their own 20. First down, Knights.
Touchback, so the Knights will start at the 20 again. Last drive was a disaster. They fumbled, and then they fumbled.
Well, on both sides, both teams in the first half played, again, maybe not mid-season football, but both teams looked pretty sharp. Come out here on the opening series, and both teams fumble the ball away in their opening possession.
Officials spotted the ball at the 25. That's a college rule, so they're going to bring it back 5 yards and put it at the 20. So it's 1st and 10 for the Knights. They trail it by 15, 29-14, early 3rd quarter. Tony Herrera sets his team for the Knights. Broken bone. Option look, handoff to McKee, breaks a tackle, he's loose, 25-30, 35-40, 45-50. Can they catch him? He's at the 40, he's at the 30, he's at the 20, he's at the 10. He lunges and he's out of bounds at the 4-yard line. It's a gain of 76 yards. And he's still down. Hopefully he's okay and just gassed.
It looked like he was going coastal too, Jeff, and he's a big kid. It's what happens when the defensive linemen don't close on the fullback on that option. That one play, you can go coast to coast.
Well, they have it 1st and goal at the 4. I think he's cramping up after that 76-yard jump. For a big guy, he showed some speed.
He surely did.
220-pounder, and they caught him around the 4.
And those smaller Centennial defensive backs didn't look to want any part of that 220-pounder rumbling down the field either. He's going to be okay. He's probably got a cramp in a calf or something.
Right calf.
Those things hurt too, Jeff. You ever had one?
Yeah. Through all my really strenuous activity, occasionally I have cramped up. And it's no fun, you're right.
No, it isn't.
So McKee is being stretched out on the sideline as his right calf is cramped up after a 76-yard run. He's a terrific defender, and as the fullback, he just picked up 76 yards. So he has 121 yards on 8 carries now. On the Sun Valley Hardware stat update, he's up and coming off with some assistance now from the athletic trainer at Oñate.
Well, 76 yards on one play sure makes your average look good.
And it makes your calf feel better quicker.
It does
doesn't
at that.
I would think. He's ginger, though, as he comes off.
My hope is that Oñate just runs the ball right at Centennial. Don't get cute down here, Coach McKee. Run the ball at those goalposts.
1st and goal for the Knights. The ball at the Centennial 4-yard line. Fielder in motion. Option. Handoff to the fullback, Young. They close down on him. Young is stopped short of the goal line. He's got half of what they need down to the 2. And it's 2nd and goal for Oñate. The ball is at the Centennial 2-yard line. Want to remind you about our post-game show brought to you by Las Cruces Public Schools. And we will name a player of the game brought to you by Steve Barrett Real Estate. After the game, stay tuned. 2nd and goal at the 2.
And again, that option offense where you have to cover all aspects is very, very difficult down here inside the 5-yard line to cover all those aspects. Again, run the ball. Coach McKee, run it right at him.
2nd and goal for the Knights. The ball at the Centennial 2. Gotti and wide to the right. Young's the ace back. Option look. Quarterback's going to keep Herrera. They grab him at the 2, and they keep him out of there. They push him back to the 5. Forward progress is going to get him the 1, and there's a flag down. We'll see what the penalty is. It's a gain of a yard, and it would bring up 3rd and goal, pending the marker. Hands to the face against Centennial. That should give them the down over plus the yardage.
And that play, Jeff, is simply the fullback serving as a lead blocker. It looks like an option, but the fullback is actually the lead blocker. Quarterback rides the ball into him, follows the fullback immediately into the line of scrimmage.
That is half the distance to the goal line.
So it's a half-yard penalty is what it amounts to, but I think it gives them 2nd down over again.
That's what's on the sideline marker is 2nd down.
Otherwise, it'd be 3rd and goal from around the 1. Instead, it's 2nd and goal from inside the 1. So that's really the significance of the penalty, is it gives them an extra down to work with. Otherwise, this might be do or die. I think they'd go for it on 4th and down anyway. But so it's 2nd and goal. The ball inside the 1-yard line. Herrera hands the ball off to Fielder. Fielder behind the right side of the line lunges towards the goal line. No signal yet as the officials run into the pile, and they're going to mark him short, it looks like. So they're going to need that extra down. It's 3rd and goal from just outside the goal line.
Sure looked like he was in from here.
Well, you have a great angle on it. You're 50 yards away. I had the binoculars on it, and I thought it was a pretty fair spot.
Yeah, this side judge here wanted to call a touchdown, but he just couldn't raise his hands to do so.
3rd and goal. The ball inches away. This is quarterback sneak time, if you ask me. Herrera ducks underneath center. Young's the fullback behind him. Young will hand off instead. Fielder tries the right side, and this time he's in. Touchdown Oñate. He didn't need but a couple of inches.
Two tight ends, run that fullback in there, hand the ball to Fielder behind the fullback. Didn't need but a foot, and he got two of them at least. Changes the dynamic of the game now, Jeff. 29-20 Centennial.
.7:42 to play in the third quarter. Centennial leads at 29-20 for the time being. So the Knights go 80 yards, 76 of them on the Forrest McKee run on the first play of the drive. Took them a while to pound it in from the 4, but they got it done with Fielder's 1-yard plunge. And now Weisenberger to try to tack on the PAT, and the kick is away, and it's good. 29-21 Centennial, 7:42 to play in the third quarter. You're listening to Hawk and Night Football on AM 570 The Ticket.
Let's face it, your motorhome is your home on the road, whether you're going.
Just a couple minutes left to get those 50-50 tickets. Get them quick. We'll announce the winner at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Up over there.
7:42 to play in the third. Centennial 29, Oñate 21. Weisenberger's kick end over end will hit at the 18-yard line and land out of bounds. So no return, but Centennial is going to get the ball out at the 35. 7:42 to play in the third quarter. So a long way to go in this one. Offensive battle in the first quarter. Game was tied at 14 with 10:39 to play in the half. Each team scored on its first two possessions. But then the Knights blinked while moving the ball. An interception gave Centennial the ball at their own 38. They turned it over on downs. Oñate had a long drive but couldn't score. And then Centennial went 62 yards in 19 seconds, scoring on an untimed down right before the half. That gave him a 12-point lead at the half. Oñate fumbled on the first two plays of the second half, with Centennial recovering the second one. But Centennial couldn't move it, so they kicked a field goal of 34 yards by Bryce Rewalt that gave them at the time a 29-14 lead. But then Oñate came back with an 80-yard drive, 76 yards of it on a run by Forrest McKee to set him up first and goal at the 4. Took him 4 plays to punch it in, but they did, as Fielder punched it in from the 1. And they made it a 8-point game with a lot of time left. Knights are going to kick again as they pushed him back to the 35. Line drive kick caught at the 30, but he was on his knees. So that basically downs the ball there, as Adam Flores caught it on special teams. But that's a dead ball when you're on your knees. So Centennial will take over at their own 31 with 7:40 to play in the third quarter. So all that, difference of 4 yards.
First down, Hawks.
Hawks have it at their own 31. Knight defense with a big stop after that fumble, Mark, because Centennial had the ball at the 14-yard line looking to put the game away, and they couldn't do it. Now the Knights have scored and made it a 1 TD game again. Out of the shotgun, Lopez. Hands off, Gutierrez on the right side, turns the corner, runs over Onate at the 35, gets across the 40 and run out of bounds after he gets a first down. up at the 42-yard line. McKee's not running nearly as well as he did earlier. He just went down with another cramp. I wonder if he can bounce back from that cramp.
It can be very hard to do, Jeff. If you get one and that calf in particular cramps up pretty tightly, it can be hard to get enough fluid back in your system and get that thing stretched out. But right now, Jeff, the offensive line of Centennial is really starting to take over control of this game. Of course, the big center, George Nino, at 6 foot and 310 pounds. But that right offensive tackle, Vincent Rubino, 6 foot, 288 pounds. They're really starting to move back the front of the Oñate defense, and thereby creating the kind of running room we saw in that last play.
Martin comes out limping. McKee comes out limping. I think McKee's problem is a cramp. I'm not sure what happened to Martin. He looks like he's walking a little gingerly. It could be a cramp for him. I don't know that McKee's going to be the same guy the rest of the night, but his 76-yard run has put them back in this game. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. Lopez, hands off, straight ahead. Hawks pounded out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Gutierrez picks up 4. Gutierrez, 5 carries, 25 yards for the Hawks tonight on the stat update brought to you by Sun Valley Hardware. 7:15 to play in the third. And Centennial leads it by 8. And they have it 2nd down and 6 at the Hawk 47-yard line. Hawks ready to go already. Good snap to Lopez. Lopez fakes a handoff, swings a pass out to Rewald. He has it at the 45. Hit before he can really get going, and he's brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of just a yard or 2.
And that's that bubble screen, Jeff. It's really a long handoff. Try to put a couple of receivers out in front of the widest receiver, get a quick pass out to him, see if you can't spring him loose. Again, long handoff play, about 3 yards worth.
Brings up 3rd and 4 for the Hawks at their own 49-yard line. Centennial by 8. Flanker to each side, 2 tight ends for Centennial. Lopez sends Rewalt in motion, fakes a handoff to him, hands off straight ahead. Gutierrez has a 1st down. He's wrapped up and dropped at the Oñate 42-yard line. He got about 6 yards after contact. He picked up 8. 1st down, Centennial. Knights just don't have an answer on 3rd down for the Hawks, do they?
No, they really don't. And that play in particular has consistently hurt the Knights. Again, the faking the jet sweep or the fly sweep at the motion man and handing the ball back to the one remaining back. It's very, very hard on the defense. It's hard to find that one guy with the ball with, offensive players crossing in all different kinds of directions.
Knights doing a lot of substitutions on the defensive line right now. 1st and 10 for the Hawks at the Oñate 42. Somebody flinched up front. And that's going to cost Centennial 5 yards, I'm afraid. Their 4th flag of the night for 16 yards. Clock stops with 6:31 to play in the third. 29-21, Centennial leads Oñate. Mayfield's up huge at the half. Trojans playing the Hobbs Eagles tonight in a game that started late. 34-14, Mayfield at halftime.
The more things change, Jeff, the more they stay the same.
I wish you'd enjoy that a little more.
I do enjoy that when it's Hobbs.
1st and 15, Rewalt goes in motion, and Lopez hands in the ball on a sweep to the right side, gets to the edge, turns the corner, and is dropped at the Oñate 39-yard line. Pretty good gain, 8 of 9. First carry of the night for Rewalt.
The influence scheme where linemen from the right side of Oñate pull to the left, but the ball winds up going wide on the right side where those linemen pulled away from, drawing Oñate defenders with them.
2nd down, 7 to go for Centennial at the Oñate 39-yard line. Here's Pena in motion. They fake a handoff to him, send Hasso straight up the gut, and he pushes it down to the 36. As the Knight defensive tackles stood their ground, and it brings up 3rd down and 4 for the Hawks again. As Hasso now with 69 yards on 10 carries, so he's averaging just under 7 a carry.
Another one of those third down situations that Oñate just does not seem to be able to fend off the Centennial offense.
3rd and 3. We'll see what the Hawks do. Rewalt wide to the left. Junior Pena wide to the right. Knights with a 5-man down front. Pena comes in motion. Lopez is going to keep straight ahead. He's got a first down as he's brought down at the 31-yard line. As coming up from the secondary to make the stop is Villa. But it's a gain of 6 for Lopez. That's his best run of the night. 6 carries, 5 yards for Lopez tonight. But he got a first down on 3rd down there. And the drive continues for the Hawks. They're at the night 30, up 8. Ball's on the right hash, twins to each side for Centennial. So 4 wide receivers for the Hawks. Lopez fakes a handoff to Hasso, keeps to the left side. Lopez dancing around, bounces it outside as he was hemmed in and finds a little bit of running room to the edge and picks up 4 to the 27. Making the stop among others for the Oñate Knights.
Gain of 4.
Miguel Corral.
2nd down.
And this is where we do see the Centennial concept of no huddle and only using players on offense is starting to wear out the front of the Oñate defense just a little bit here. Not many Oñate kids are playing both ways either.
2nd and about 6.5 for the Hawks at the Oñate 27-yard line. Lopez hands off, straight up the gut, a little bit of room there as Hasso punches it down to the 23-yard line. That's a gain of 4. 11 carries, 73 yards for Hasso, and it's 3rd down and 3 again for the Hawks. And they've been money on 3rd down in this distance for the most part tonight, unless they snap it errantly or something. That happened to them one time when they did convert on 3rd down and short. 3:46 to play in the 3rd quarter. Well, here's the mistake by the Hawks. Tight end took off a little early. Now he's saying that he was influenced to jump.
I think the defender jumped. I think the defender broke the neutral zone first.
They called it on the Hawks. So the Knights got away with it.
That's a 5-yard penalty.
Well, that changes things a little bit. Instead of 3rd and a short 3, it's about 7.5 now from the 28.
And 3rd and 8 is a situation in favor of the defense, Jeff. That 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3, that situation favors the offense.
So 3rd down and 7.5 for the Hawks at the 28-yard line. Knights show blitz. Lopez calls, drops to pass. Lopez given some ground, fires it out in the flat. It's caught, shaking a tackle at the 30, 25-20, down to the 15, down to the 12-yard line. Well, it was a one-on-one play out there. And the Knights just didn't make a tackle in the open field as Chase Austin, the tight end, made a nice play in the open field, made a guy miss at the 30. Picks up 16 and a first down.
And Oñate had a good defensive call, blitz 7 people on the line of scrimmage, played man-to-man everywhere else, but just could not make the tackle in the open field.
Sometimes you got to make a play.
Yeah, you do.
And they didn't do it there. And the Hawks did. 1st and 10 at the Knight 12-yard line. Flanker in motion. Little scissors play. Faking it is Lopez. He'll keep to the left side. He's upended and goes airborne down to the 9-yard line. Coming up to make the stop was Lauterbach, who's going both ways. Lopez picks up 3. 2nd down and 7 at the 9.
2nd down.
2:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Rewalt and Pena wide to the right for the Hawks. Double tight end set for the Hawks. Lopez out of the gun as he's been all night. Lopez hands off straight ahead. Hasso ridden down at the line of scrimmage. Duarte made the stop for Oñate. No gain. 3rd and 7. This will be the 13th play of this drive, Mark.
No gain.
And another one of those third down situations. Oñate just doesn't seem to be able to hold them off on third down. Got about 3rd down and 8 from what, the 8-yard line or so? 3rd down and 5.
I'd say 3rd and 7 from the 9, 3rd and 6 or so. They need the 2.5. Lopez, a little bit of a high snap, fakes a handoff, fires into the end zone, pass batted in the air and incomplete. Off the receiver's hands. Went for Rewalt and he couldn't hold on. 4th down and about 6.5 at the 9-yard line. Well, a field goal makes it a 2-score lead for the Hawks, so I think they'll go for the field goal here. We'll see, though.
I think they thought about it, Jeff, but I think they're going for 4th down. I don't see the field goal team coming out here, though there is some confusion on the Centennial sideline. Look for a timeout maybe, but they don't have the kicker out there.
Well, you're up 8. Field goal makes you up 11 if you make it. Instead, they're going to go for it. 4th down, about 7 to go at the 9-yard line. There goes Rewalt in motion. Lopez wants to go to the air, fires into the end zone, incomplete. It was too tall for his intended receiver. He was wide open, but he misfired, trying to hit the tight end, Chase Austin, and so the Knight defense holds. Field goal's looking pretty good right now.
Absolutely. Knights dodged a bullet on consecutive plays, Jeff. Pass goes off of Rewalt's hands on 3rd down. Chase Austin, the tight end, is wide open in the end zone on 4th down. Quarterback throws it over his head.
He was wide open, but Lopez misfired. So Lopez now missed on his last 2 passes. He's 9 of 16 for 156 yards and 2 TDs. 1st and 10 for the Knights at the Oñate 9-yard line. Herrera out of the flex bond, hands to McKee, and he is smothered at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Boy, the Knights really got whipped up front there.
It's that Marcus Minnick down there in the middle, Jeff. He's a big, strong kid, and he takes up a lot of space in there.
McKee trying to tough this thing out, but he hasn't been the same since that 76-yard run.
No, he definitely looks to be hurting it. And with that calf situation, to get the push off of the line of scrimmage that the fullback needs in that option offense, he's not quite there.
1 minute to play in the 3rd quarter. The Hawks by 8. The Knights have it 2nd and 10 at their own 9-yard line. McKee still in there at fullback. Lauterbach and Yanez are the halfbacks. Option look to the left side. Herrera is going to keep, and he punches it to the 11. Lauterbach was his pitch man, and he might have been able to pitch it, but I think you play it pretty close to the vest down there, huh?
Down in your own 10-yard line, you probably want the quarterback to keep the ball, even if that's not the proper read. You really don't need that ball flying around out there on a pitch in that situation.
20 seconds to play in the 3rd, 29-21. Centennial leads it here. 3rd down and 8 for the Knights at the Oñate 11-yard line. They're going to let the quarter expire. So we're at the end of 3. Centennial 29, Oñate 21. You're listening to Night and Hawk Football on AM 570, The Ticket.
Someday we'll close the bank of mom and dad. Every parent looks forward to that day,
The
and
Knights
Wells Fargo
outscored
can help.
them
We give
7
your
to
child
3 in that
financial
quarter.
guidance
Don't feel
and
like it,
tools
does it?
tailored
No,
just
it
for
doesn't.
them. From the college
Because
combo designed to
Centennial
help them be
picked up-
financially
Seems like
successful,
Centennial's
to
had the
learning
ball on the
like
night half of the
hands-on
field
banking
the whole
program, an
3rd
online
quarter.
center for help with budgeting and more. Why wait
They
for
played
someday?
in another
Stop
5
by
or 6
Wells Fargo or
weeks.
visit wellsfargo.com/student today.
Who knows, but
Wells
I think
Fargo.
Centennial's a little
Next
better
day.
right now.
They are.
Bank NA, member FDIC.
I'll tell you what's going to happen, Jeff.
We're hitting the
Centennial
streets
is
to see
going to
what real
roll
people
their
think of
schedule.
McDonald's
Yeah.
new buttermilk
They're not going to be
crispy chicken.
challenged, but what?
On the eastern side of the state over at Hobbs, Mayfield leads at halftime 34-14. Loss of 5. 4th down. 65.086. You better hurry up. You're gonna miss out. Oñate side 65.1086. You have 2 minutes. You better hurry. Junior Kenya on the return. First down. Oñate, you got a 50-50 winner. Centennial, you guys are up next. Stand by. Paso on the carry. Gain of 4. Second down. Brandon Gomez on the carry. Picked up a couple. Brings up 3rd down. It's a 34-yard touchdown pass from Onate to Junior Pena. Centennial leads 36-21. We would like to recognize the sponsors of the 22nd annual Sandra B. Draft All Activities High School Golf Tournament. New Mexico Bowl, Peter Piper, Premier Distributing Company, Arcon Construction, Rick Nazar Consulting, Seco Spice Limited Company, Spence Asset Management, Steinborn and Associates Real Estate, Sun Valley Do It Best Hardware, The Fix Salon, Tom Sullivan Farms, and Village Inn. The Oñate High School Football Booster Club would like to thank the National Guard for providing their post-game meal tonight, and the Centennial High School Football Booster Club would like to thank the Bryce Rewalt and the Jake Boykin family for providing tonight's meal.
AM 570, The Ticket, presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Welcome back. I'm Jeff Matthews along with Mark Hartshorn. 9:34 to play in the game, and the Rewalt pooch kick high and short to the far sideline, hits it bounce, bounces back towards Centennial, and the Hawks may have come up with a free ball.
They do.
And they're talking about it, and they're giving the ball to Oñate. Maybe it went out of bounds.
There was no flag thrown, Jeff.
Well, they're giving it to Oñate. That's what
they are indeed doing that.
It was a pooch kick, and it hit and bounced back towards the Centennial cover team, but it's Oñate football at the 34. Hawks thought they had it. Not much argument from the Centennial coaches who are right there. 9:34 to play in the game. Knights down 15, so they've got to get the offense going with some urgency here. They've had a lot of offense tonight, but they're not exactly a quick strike team. Kind of a grinded out team, though they've had some big plays tonight. 2 touchdown passes for Herrera. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Option look, Herrera's got room, 35-40, 45-50. He's into the secondary to the 3rd level and brought down at the Centennial 44-yard line. Big play in the running game, and the quarterback keeper and the option. By far the longest run of the night for Herrera, a 22-yard run, which gives him 12 yards on the night because he was in negative territory because of a sack.
And Oñate had set 3 wide receivers to one side, the right side, a single split into the left side, and ran the option back to the short side of the formation.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Knights. The ball at the Hawk 44 with 9:10 to play in the game. Centennial 36, Oñate 21. 2 receivers to the left, Martin and Fielder. Lauterbach in motion. Option, Herrera pitches it to Lauterbach. Lauterbach hit at the line of scrimmage and stopped for no gain. Centennial's Mark Sotelo came up out of the secondary and made a nice tackle.
Well, Sotelo came up and made a real nice play on that pitch. It was the same play as the previous down, again setting 3 receivers into the short side, leaving the wide side of the field presumably open, but with Sotelo's fill out of the secondary, no gain on that pitch play.
8:28 to play, 36-21, Centennial with the lead. Guardian's had a big night. He comes wide to the left. Knights shift their linemen around depending on what play they want to run. In other words, they play various positions up front. Wingback comes in motion. Herrera wants to throw, complete to Guardian at the 41. He's got a 1st down, pulls a tackler with him down to the 37. It's not a 1st down, I beg your pardon. It's a gain of 7. They needed 10, so it's 3rd down and 3.
Yes, and the Centennial front is getting such push on those play action passes. The Oñate quarterback really doesn't have time to execute that fake to the fullback, take a step back and hit the split end. He got it away that time, but there was certainly pressure on him once more.
7:36 to play in the game. Centennial 36, Oñate 21. 3rd down and about 4 for the Knights at the Centennial 38-yard line. Fielder in motion. Herrera runs option. Thinks about pitching it. He's going to go ahead and hold on to it because he's in trouble and swarmed under for a 2-yard loss. Really not a whole lot of choices to make there. He could have made a very risky pitch, but it looked like Oñate had the pitch well defended.
They had everything well defended. And again, we're seeing it on both sides of the line of scrimmage, Jeff. The Centennial offensive line is really sealing off the Oñate defensive front. And right now, the Centennial defensive front is doing the same thing to the Oñate offensive line. There's not much room in there anymore.
6:47 to play in the game. Centennial by 15. It's 4th down and about 5.5, 6 yards to go for the Knights. Ball is at the Centennial 40. Herrera sends Giannis in motion back to pass. Fires the pass, caught by Gotti, and he was hit as the ball arrived, and he held on for a 1st down at the Centennial 25-yard line. It's a gain of 15, and they move the sticks on 4th and 6.
A very typical option offense pass play action pass in the middle, singling up one wide receiver. Well done for that first down on that play.
6 catches for 97 yards for Gaudian tonight and 2 TDs. He's having a big night out at the split end for Oñate. 1st and 10 for the Knights at the Centennial 25. 6:10 to play in the game. Knights are down 2 scores. Hand off to the fullback, punches it forward for a couple. Centennial stops the fullback dive to Young for a gain of 2.
Matthew Young on the carry.
6th carry of the night for Young. 2nd and 8 at the 23. Stay tuned after the game for the post-game show brought to you by Las Cruces Public Schools.
Gain of 2.
That's where you can get your final scores around the state tonight. We'll also give you a scoring recap, final stats from this one, and name our Steve Barrett Real Estate Player of the Game. All that after the game. The post-game show brought to you by Las Cruces Public Schools. 2nd down and 8. The ball is at the Centennial 23-yard line. Back to pass as Herrera hits Gaudian. He's at the 10 and shoved out of bounds, but he has a first down for the Knights. Another catch for Gaudian. He's the only Knight to catch a pass tonight. It's a gain of 13. He has 110 yards receiving, and Herrera has 110 yards passing.
If I was Herrera, I'd keep looking for him.
1st and goal for the Knights at the Centennial 10 with 5:16 to play in the game. Twins to the right for the Knights. Fielder wide to the left. Herrera ducks underneath center. The Knights haven't shown a shotgun look all night. Waterback goes in motion. Handoff to Young, the fullback. They sandwich him at the 9. He keeps fighting to the 8. He's fighting to the 7. He's fighting to the 6. And then whistles blow. I don't know where they're going to roll his forward progress. They never got him down.
Young in the carry.
They're going to give him the 7.5 where they decided to stop the play.
Gain of 2.
He picked up 2.5.
2nd down.
Out of determination, really. 2nd and goal.
And this drive by the Knights is well done, Jeff, but will they have enough time, assuming they score, to get the ball back and try to score again?
4:35 to play in the game. This drive now has lasted 5 minutes for Oñate. 2nd and goal at the 7.5. Option look. Herrera's grabbed and swallowed. Fights forward. Gets to the 6. Picks up 2. So it's 3rd down and goal for the Knights. The ball at the 6 and clearly 4-down territory.
Oh,
this will be the 11th play of the drive.
Wow.
That was profound. 4 minutes to play in the game. 3rd and goal at the 6. Gaudian wide to the right. Herrera's talking to his lineman, trying to communicate. The Centennial band's been playing with Oñate on the drive. Herrera ducks underneath center, and he calls timeout with 3:38 to play in the game. That could end up being a valuable timeout, but you don't want to mess up here. 3rd and goal at the 6. So the Knights have taken a timeout. We'll keep it here with 3:37 to play in the game, and it's 36-21. Centennial with the lead over Oñate. The Knights need a TD here, Mark, and it might even be onside kick time if they do score, but they got to score first.
I surely would think they'd have to at least consider the onside kick because they've not essentially stopped Centennial most of the night. So if they score this play, the next play, about 3 minutes to go, they can't get the ball away from Centennial with enough time to get back in, try to score another touchdown and tie this game up. Been a well-played ball game, both sides, Jeff.
They've got 2 downs to go 6 yards. First quarter was a score fest, really. It was 14-7 Centennial at the end of 1, but the first 2 times each team touched the ball in the game, they scored. Drives of 65, 41, 74, and 57. Here we go, 3rd down and goal. The ball is at the Centennial 6-yard line. Fielder goes in motion. Back to pass is Herrera. Fires over the middle. Caught by Fielder. He's hit hard at the goal line. He doesn't go down, and he fights into the end zone. Touchdown Oñate. Third TD pass for Herrera.
And Fielder made a terrific play, catching a short ball over the middle, taking a big shot from a Centennial defender, bouncing off him, taking a shot from another one, getting the ball in the end zone. 36-27, Jeff, and we go for 2 here.
First time tonight that somebody other than Guadians caught the pass from Herrera. Third TD pass of the night for Herrera. That makes it 36-27. Centennial with the late. Boy, Fielder really fought into the end zone as they hit him at the goal line and pinballed him around, but he wouldn't go down. PAT attempt from Weisenberger. Good snap, good hold. Kick is away, and the kick is good. 3:32 to play in the game. It's Centennial 36, Oñate 28. You're listening to Hawken Night Football on AM 570, The Ticket.
Someday we'll close the bank of mom and dad. Every parent looks forward to that day, and Wells Fargo can help. We give your child financial guidance and tools tailored just for them. From the college combo designed to help them be financially successful, to learning tools like the hands-on banking program, an online center for help with budgeting, and more. Why wait for someday? Stop by Wells Fargo or visit wellsfargo.com/student today.
66
Wells
yards.
Fargo. Next day.
3:32 to
Wells
play.
Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Beasley Mitchell and Company, certified public accountants, have a mission to ensure your financial success and provide exceptional quality client services. They are also experts.
The west side, you'll have to turn right onto Shiro. This should make our traffic much easier to get out of here. So if you're on the visitor side, turn left. If you're coming out on the home side, turn right. And if you exit out under the new exit on the motel, you'll go north to Bruins Lane. Thank you.
So the Knights go 66 yards in 11 plays. Herrera hits Fielder for a 6-yard TD pass with 3:32 to play in the game, cutting it to 8 with the PAT. Centennial's expecting an onside kick with the hands team in there. We'll see if that's what the Knights do or not. The Knights have 2 timeouts and 3:32 on the clock in which to try to stop Centennial if they kick it deep. Weisenberger approaches the ball and he kicks it deep. End over end kick to Pena, who catches it in the end zone for a touchback. So Centennial starts at the 20. The Knights really need a 3 and out.
They just about have to have one. If they could get a 3 and out and keep time on the clock, then they have a chance. But 2 first downs for Centennial, and this thing is essentially over.
Again, let's take this moment to thank our officials. For tonight's game, referee Ad Helsa, umpire Carlos Herrera, linesman Richard Lewis, line judge Luis Hernandez, and back judge Kevin Westcott.
3:32 to play. Centennial by 8, trying to run out the clock now. Knights have 2 timeouts left, trying to get the stop and get the ball back to the offense. 1st and 10. Lopez fields the snap and hands off. Going left, 25. Stop there and knocked backwards. It's a gain of almost 6. 2nd and 4 for the Hawks.
Gomez on the carry.
Lopez, or make it Gomez on the carry.
Gain of 6. 2nd down.
2 carries, 8 yards for Gomez. And it's 2nd and 4 at the 26-yard line. Centennial never huddles, but yet they're in a position where they really want to kill clock here. But they're going to run the play in the tempo they're used to. Hand off straight ahead. A little bit of running room, but not enough for a first down as it's a gain of 2. Got half of what they needed.
Once again, Brandon
As Gomez on the carry. And it's 3rd and 2. The Knights haven't used their timeouts. But why use them when Centennial ran the play so quick? I mean, they kind of did Oñate a favor if the Knights get the stop.
Yes, but you can get yards back, Jeff. You can't get time back, though.
Big 3rd down here, obviously, with 2:22 and counting to play in the game, and the Hawks up 8. Knights didn't use the timeout, 2:15 and counting. They have 2 of them timeouts. So 3rd and 2. Lopez calls for the ball. Lopez hands off to Hasso. He has the first down as he squirts across the 30 to the 32 for a gain of 4. That'll stop the clock as they get the first down with 2:04 to play in the game. But Oñate does still have 2 timeouts, but they needed to stop there. Now they're thinking takeaway on defense rather than 3 and out. Clock running, 2:02, 2:01, 2 minutes as the chains are set. And the Hawks looking to run out the clock and secure the victory here in the opener with Oñate trailing Centennial 36 to 28. And Centennial with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 32. Lopez taking his time now. Takes the snap, hands off to Hasso. Hasso tries left tackle and he crosses the 35 to the 39. That's a gain of 7.
James Martin at the stop.
And the timeout taken by the Knights. 1:33 to play in the game. Centennial 36, Oñate 28. You're listening to Night and Hawk Football on AM 570, The Ticket.
Someday.
Timeout. Oñate. We'd like to remind our fans that no one is allowed on the field at the conclusion of the game unless you have a sideline pass. Thank you.
On Fox Sports AM 570, The Ticket, presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Handoff to Hasso, and he punches it forward close to a first down. I think he has it. Minute 22 to play in the game. And it is a first down for the Hawks out at the 48. That should do it. The Knights do have a timeout left. But the offense, barring a turnover, is going to run out the clock here. And Oñate will have never got the offense back on the field. So the Knights went 66 yards for a TD to cut it to 8. Problem is, it took them 6 minutes and 2 seconds to do it. And they didn't leave enough time in the game to get the ball back. Penalty marker flies with 1:13 to play in the game. And the penalty is going to go against Centennial, a 5-yard false start penalty. So that'll move them back to the 43. It's 1st and 15 with 1:13 to play. Knights with 1 timeout left.
All Centennial needs to do is simply snap the ball a couple of times. Again, unless they drop the ball on the ground or do something silly.
That's what the Knights are going to try to accomplish here. 1st and 15. Official rolls the clock. Centennial's Lopez fields the snap with 1:03 to play in the game. Hands off to Hasso. Hasso into the stack, stopped at the 40. Timeout Oñate. Gain of a yard. 57 seconds to play. 36 to 28. Centennial with the lead. We'll take a break. You're listening to Night and Hawk Football on AM 570, The Ticket.
Presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
57 seconds to play. It's Centennial 36, Oñate 28. Centennial trying to run out the clock. The Knights are now out of timeouts, Mark, so victory formation time for the Hawks. It's 2nd and 15. About the only thing that could derail this for the Hawks is turning it over, and so Lopez takes a knee, and there's nothing the Knights can do about it. As the clock rolling to 50, 49, 48 and counting. So the Hawks need to snap it one or two more times, and then they can begin to celebrate their second victory over Oñate on opening night. I thought the Knights did look a lot better than they did a year ago. Centennial won going away last year. Really, the turning point in this game to me came back in the first half with Oñate driving, Centennial up 20-14. The Knights went to something a little different. Kind of had a discombobulated play where Herrera kind of flung it out there. Ball got tipped. Centennial intercepted it. Centennial didn't go and score, but that was the first stop of the game, and that just seemed to swing the momentum. And then the second big play was the play right before the half when Centennial scored on the untimed down, and it gave them some cushion, and they kind of rode that cushion the rest of the night.
Well, they absolutely did, and it's those kind of plays that you simply can't make. You can't make mistakes like that. Centennial has an awful good football team. I think Oñate's pretty good too, Jeff. But you're absolutely right. Those two plays were the tipping. I mean, they happened before the halftime, but yet they really tipped the game in favor of Centennial.
Clock stops with 11 seconds to play. It's 3rd and 15 for the Hawks. The ball's at the Hawk 38-yard line, and they just got to take a knee one more time as the Knights are out of timeouts. So this will be the last play of the game, and there's the knee taken, and the clock will roll out. Two teams meet at midfield, and we'll shake hands. Final score, Centennial 36, Oñate 28 tonight here at the Field of Dreams. Stay tuned for our post-game show brought to you by Las Cruces Public Schools. It comes your way after this. You're listening to Hawk and Night Football on AM 570, The Ticket.
There's nothing like the feeling of family Friday night in high school football.
That's why Computer Career Center, a division of Vista College, is a proud...
Once again, look to the scoreboard. 50-50 number drawn for Centennial side. We thank you for coming out tonight. Remind you that as you're exiting, if you're exiting from the home field side, you will be turning right onto Toshiro or right onto Motel Boulevard, depending on which exit you take. And as you exit the visitor side, the west side, or the east side, excuse me, you'll be turning left onto Shiro. This will greatly ease the traffic problems that we have at big games like this. We thank you for coming out, and we look forward to an exciting season of high school.